Hey there, this is Home Inspector Dan. I'm up in Waddell today, if you can believe it or not. It's about an hour and 20 minutes from my house. Long drive, cool property though. Glad I came out to help these clients. Looking at a back patio here, they've put in a lot of brick pavers. I used to do a lot of brick pavers in Cleveland, Ohio when I lived there. We would put in paver patios all over the place. Didn't even think about grading. Didn't even consider it. Yeah, you wanted water runoff, but we weren't out there measuring it to make sure that the water ran off. And I think that's what happens a lot at these houses. The landscapers come in and they want to put in a beautiful product for the client, and a lot of the times the grading and the drainage gets overlooked. Also, when you have a patio, there's a lot of plants that get put on top of the patio that get irrigated, and then they get too much water, and then that water has nowhere to go. So let me show you a few things that I'm finding here. So we've got this beautiful brick paver patio. Doesn't look like it slopes back to the house too much, but it sure doesn't look like it slopes away from the house. You can see two different types of material here, two different colors. So they were trying to do a design, but then you can see the irrigation for the flower pots. This is where all the pots were getting irrigated along the house. I'm sure this looked beautiful when everything was installed. We have several areas where they're irrigating pots around the foundation. But we get a lot of this at the back of the house. Excessive moisture, efflorescence, spalling, paint coming off the foundation. That's what happens when too much moisture gets behind the paint. It starts to fall off, and then it exposes our concrete foundation, and it accelerates the deterioration. So it's obvious that it doesn't have any problems at the property on the front section. There's actually really good drainage. We've got a good slope up there. We've got a couple drains on the front, so all this water is going to go out that way. But on the back, we really don't have anything. We've got a couple little retaining walls or brick walls put up, cement block walls. So if any water wanted to come this way, it's not going to. Efflorescence, the problem with getting too much water in there, if it hits the rebar will expand, and then the side of your foundation will blow out. So one thing we can do is we can get this downspout about 6 feet out, get it a little bit farther, quit watering so many plants on the patio, because guess what? Every place we were watering has that. And if you don't seal that area, it's going to start cracking in the middle about halfway up, and that rebar inside of the foundation is actually going to blow out the side of the foundation. So yeah, water causes issues even in Arizona. Self-inflicted wounds, a little bit. It's not terrible, but we need to get this stuff repainted, resealed before it causes any failures. So we're starting to get a little bit of a crack there. Post-tension slab, we shouldn't have too much cracking, but it's still possible with this post-tension slab to get some cracking. This is probably where most of the damage anyways happened. You can see just the outside of the concrete, and the paint just starts falling off, flaking off. Makes a little pile on the ground. That doesn't get any better until we scrape all that off and reseal it. Thanks for watching. I'm Home Inspector Dan.